5, 4, 3, 2, rehearsal.
Business Insider. Oh, this sounds exciting.
In 1969, our founders, Joan Cooney and Lloyd Morissette, had the revolutionary idea of asking, what if kids can learn from TV? They had noticed that kids could repeat beer jingles.
Where there's life, there's fun.
What'll you have?
That's Blue Ribbon.
So they posed themselves that question and basically created Sesame Street, which is a show that's now been on the air almost 50 years. We film at Kaufman Astoria Studios, which is in Astoria, Queens, and is a very old studio that was built in the 20s by what was United Artists at the time and has gone through many iterations over the years. On a regular production day, like today when you're visiting, there's about 60 people involved when you count the production staff that's downstairs in the office, as well as all of the technical and stage crew and camera people and costume designers, etc. It really does take a village to bring this show together. Every year, when we start a new season, what we do is our curriculum team convenes an all-day seminar, and they basically consult with experts in child development, child psychology, preschool teachers. As the writers work, the curriculum team works in tandem with the production team, and they review all the scripts and give feedback from the educational standpoint. We also do a lot of research, so we'll take some of the scripts into schools, we'll read them to the kids and solicit feedback from them. Our production cycle is essentially a 12-month cycle, from the moment of that curriculum seminar which I described to the moment we deliver shows to HBO. Jim Henson, obviously his impact on Sesame Street is massive, and he was the one who brought the Muppets to Sesame Street. And so his legacy, is very solid and lives on the show because all of our puppeteers are trained basically in a methodology that he invented. He took the puppet theater and decided, I'm going to get rid of that and just use the TV frame as my puppet theater while looking at a monitor so that I can position my puppet and see exactly what I need to see. And so basically he invented, puppetry for television. And our puppeteers are trained in those methods that he came up with. It truly is like kind of a magic act. So we have a core group of puppeteers that's is 14 people, 14 performers. We have a mentee program that we run to identify new puppeteers, and so there's a few of those, and we'll bring them in a day here, a day there. There's essentially three categories of puppets. There's the walk-around puppet, so that's Big Bird or Snuffy, for example, where the person is inside the puppet and they're operating it from inside. It's a full suit.
You and me together, old pal.
Then there's what we call a bag puppet, so that's like Cookie Monster or The Count.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And so there the puppet covers the puppeteer. The puppeteer is operating the mouth with one hand and is operating one of the hands with another, and then there's a second puppeteer, which we usually call the assistant puppeteer, and that person comes behind and operates the other hand and helps hand props from below frame. Then the third kind of puppet is what we call a rod puppet, so that's like an Elmo or an Abby. And so those are typically operated by a single puppeteer. They hold two rods which operate the hands, and then they're operating the mouth this way. The primary puppeteer is always the person that does the voice.
Oh, Cookie Monster, how did you mistake the motion for Cookie?
So the most recent and probably most talked about for the US is Julia, who's a young girl who's on the autism spectrum.
Can Big Bird see your painting?
See your painting? Yes.
And she was developed originally by our social impact team. Another example on the international side, because we do a lot of international work, is Zari, who was developed for Afghanistan.
Welcome to the street.
Thank you, Elmo. Today I'm so excited to be here.
She's 6 years old, she's curious, and also has a younger brother who looks up to her, which is a great kind of gender equity role modeling. Carol Spinney has been here since season 1, and is the originator of both Oscar and Big Bird. He's obviously a legend and an amazing performer and just an amazing guy. We have a couple of crew members, believe it or not, who've been here for nearly 50 years. Frankie, who's our camera one operator, has been here since the beginning. Our sound effects editor, Dick Maitland, has also been here since the beginning. They work on Sesame Street because they love Sesame Street. They believe in our mission, so people tend to stay. In a given season of 35 episodes, we'll have 10 to 12 celebrity appearances. We love to do musical guests because kids love music. And the celebrities are for the parents and more so than the kids who may not know who John Legend is. But when we can combine both, do a musical and a celebrity appearance, then it's great for everyone. Celebrities will reach out to us, especially if they've recently had kids and they think to themselves, wow, I would love for Junior to see me on TV. Sesame Street has changed a lot and our production models evolve with new technology all the time. So we did a big kind of redesign of the set in season 46. So that was about 4 years ago. And it was, obviously we kept 1, 2, 3, the brownstone and hoopers, those are the touchstones of the set. But we wanted to modernize it some, to give it a more colorful and vibrant atmosphere, and also to position the puppets in specific places. So Abby, who is a fairy, we put her in her garden, and so now every kid who watches Sesame Street knows, like, that's Abby's garden, that's where she lives, that's where she hangs out and plays with her friends. There's hundreds of studies that have shown the effectiveness of Sesame Street and how kids who watch Sesame Street are ready for school in a fashion that's greater than those who don't.
Why me love cookies? Oh, they just the perfect food. They round, they crunchy, they soft in the middle, they chocolatey. Sorry, me got to go get the cookie right now, excuse me.